Uh, Hello, everybody, whoever is watching on YouTube and whoever is watching on Facebook, where I have posted my links. Welcome you all to this session of webinar mastermind, where many people have asked me, what is leadership growth? So I'll tell you about my story. Leadership growth is about helping people. How do you think about people and how you help them to grow more, become more. And at times what happens, you also pushed into the back seat. It doesn't matter, right? So when you have that broadness about being pushed to the back door, back seat, to help somebody grow more, it doesn't take much time for you to bounce back. So for the people who are just starting out as leaders, first time managers or leaders, or at any place, sometimes you will be experiencing this kind of pushback. Like say you will be pushed towards the backstage, and it doesn't matter. So here it of course is painful at times. But you have to constantly reevaluate yourself. So that is what I call as leadership growth. And you don't have to be in position of authority, power, or you need to be the leader. Nothing, no, none of the sort is required. If you are working on your capability all the time and helping people to be more. No, it is recognized now or never. So it gets reflected in your personality. So let me share the screen so that we can discuss more about this thing. So here is the one. So how to become proactive and driven. As I said, this is a secret to strategize the career ladder. How how you position yourself, whichever city you are from. So it is basically your thought process. Whatever experience I have, I have seen that it all depends on your thoughts. So first of all, to start out anything and everything, how do you describe yourself? That is the first thing is your thought process, which will take you towards the first step. How to what to do with your day, what is the right action that you need to take. If that is there, then you keep on doing small things every day. A small win, a big win, doesn't matter. Sometimes it will fail, sometimes it will be okay, but always try to do something new, and that requires some patience. It doesn't happen in one day. So when you consolidate whatever you are doing, stacking up all your experiences and learning, then one day you will see that whatever you are doing, it is just 30%, and you could have achieved. If you would have achieved all the successes, then it would have been 30% of whatever you have thought of. Rest 70% will surprise you, provided you keep your mindset positive. So this is basically about your thoughts. So first of all, how do you start out? The basic thought process is awareness about yourself. So how do you describe yourself? The first question is that. How do you describe yourself? Do you describe yourself as a person who is empathetic, a person who loves to grow, a person who loves to help, a person who wants to learn a new skill every day, a person who loves reading? How do you describe yourself? So it will tell. There is no right, wrong, and appropriate question answer. So whatever answer you give, Just be with it and evaluate yourself. And nobody is going to judge you, but it will give you an impression of what you think about yourself. The second is, how did we distinguish ourselves in the last job? So many people who are into leadership growth, they think that it is about having a job. That is what I am thinking. It is not about having a job. Already you have a job, you don't have a job, you are looking for a job. It doesn't matter. Most of the time, people are in who actually seek help are looking for jobs. So if you are looking for job, you need to stand out somewhere, right? If you have done something very common thing, like any other thing, how do you stand out? Tell me. So even if you do very common small things, it needs to it needs to have something extraordinary, your flavor, right? How did you distinguish yourself in the last job? Say if your team was of 5 people, so how were you known? Next is, what is that one thing that is very important for you in your job? For some people, it is salary. For some people, it is the environment. For some people, it is the camaraderie in the team. It is the way. What was important? Just write it down here. Next is it salary? For some people, it is salary. So it's okay. Or is it an opportunity to explore your capabilities? So if it is a salary, it tells something about you. You need to tell yourself something. Or if it is an opportunity to explore your capabilities, if यही है अगर, then this also tells something about your capability. Next is, how have you added to your uniqueness since the last job? So suppose you had a job, last job, and now you are in a job. So how have you progressed? If you are not in a job, then also how have you added something to your? You might be doing something, right? Every day. Do you know that every day gives you some experience, and that is an opportunity to grow to the next level? Do you know what is that? Then are you enjoying your job right now? If yes, what makes you look for another job? So the next question is, if you are already having a job, what what is the next thing that you are looking for another job? Why are you looking for another job? If you are not in a job, do you think you deserve a great opportunity? That might be the reason why you are looking for a job. Or are you thinking of any job? Just not this job. You just want to move on from this job. Is that so? Are you patient about your learning things while doing? So everything takes some time to learn, right? You start something today and you are not going to learn by tomorrow, right? It takes some time. Are you feeling patient to learn, or you don't feel that kind of patience? Can you do something to push the process to accelerate? Suppose that you are not happy at the pace that you are moving. So what can you do? Do you have something in mind? Are you looking for a favor, or are you offering value to the person you are connecting? Now, for acceleration, some people think that it is a favor. Somebody has an opportunity, then they can actually help you get another job. Is that something you are looking for? Or are you offering value to the person you are connecting? So it is an indirect way. If you are offering a value, naturally the other person will feel obliged to get a job or doing some favor to you, right? So are you thinking like that? So these will give you some kind of thought pattern. Now, basically, uh, you need to overcome procrastination and find your voice. That is part of the leadership growth. So why I come to this is, suppose you are somewhere stuck. So getting stuck has anger, grief, and grievance in its component. And because of that, you might be finding yourself stuck and you are not able to express. So these are the two aspects we will be dealing today. Let us see if you are a procrastinator, if you are a perfectionist. So another set of questions I have. Are you here to learn about leadership growth? What leadership growth is all about? So I'll be having some questions. So you ask yourself some question as I explained, or whatever you have understood. Are you here to learn about leadership growth? Somebody approaches you for a help. It will take 100 phone calls to find the solution. Would you do it or do you not do it? And why? If you do it, why it is so? And if you don't do it, why it is so? Do you read something every day? What did you learn today? Can you say something? There are 15 questions like this. On any given day, you work for 8 hours or less. Never more. Given a choice, what would you achieve in life and why? Are you aiming to serve people better? How many times you do what you think to do in a day, week, or month? Office call, time for children, time with self, which one is the most important for you? Why I'm asking all these questions? This question will tell tell you about where you procrastinate and what are the causes of procrastination and why you are feeling stuck. Might be in any of the questions, you might be feeling stuck at least at one point. If you are stuck, do you know who is a leader? So you do you think yourself to be a leader? If you think yourself to be a leader, then what is the characteristics that you think a leader should have? Are you aiming for a dignified existence, respected or recognized? Is that what a leadership position is uh, does mean for you? Are you looking to be with your family more? Is that what you are looking for? Are you looking to be in charge of your life? How many times you talk to your boss to explain an issue? What do you do to keep people posted about the current work you are engaged in? So these are the 15 questions that you have. Have you given yourself a score that will give you yes, no kind of thing? And it will give also some thought process for you. I have a system how you do it. So what I will tell you is there are simple three secrets to it. You have to have a packaged USP, unique selling point that solves a problem. So do you solve any kind of problem, or you have a you have something which is soluble? So how to package whatever expertise you have? And you might have some kind of experience, some kind of credibility, but you don't have expertise or experience. So how that expertise and experience will create dependability and trustworthiness? Will you start working towards that? A collaborative approach to seed legacy that is sector agnostic. So what about you learn something and you are gone from there, and that doesn't have any demand somewhere. So whatever you learn should have a market perspective to it. That is what I call a legacy. So if even if you are not, if even if you are a manager, not manager, whatever level, your knowledge actually helps people to help you, right? Or everybody will say what position you held in the last job. Will that help? Of course, they will think about giving you the next position. If they don't find you, you'll be stuck. But if you can tell more about whatever um, credibility you have, then they probably there is more chance of getting help. So if you stay till the session ends, then I will give you an extra one-to-one session. So this will take 90 minutes. Do take notes, save questions to the end. And who this is for? Most possibly it is the first time managers who are feeling stuck, but anybody can feel stuck for that matter. So it is for people who are stuck, and who I call as stuck is the people who have some anger issue, some grief, some sorrow, or they have some grievances. That is when their mind is stuck at the problem aspect. They are not looking for solutions. They are aggrieved and stuck at that point. When they are stuck at that point, they are not looking at solutions. If they are not looking at solutions, they will not find solutions. If they are not finding solutions, then they will not move it. And that is how they are stuck. That is why I call that they are stuck. So why you feel stuck? Because of the thought process. It all depends on the thought process. Normally we think that progress is a way forward, it is upward graph for anybody and everybody. It is not so. The CEO of LinkedIn, Rian Roslansky, he says that it is in loops. Sometimes you take a step back, sometimes you take several steps back and then come back. So it is a loop at times, and suddenly there will be growth. Of course, from every learning, there will be growth. And why do we step back? When we step back, actually when we are stuck, we step back, and that is when we are complaining, and we are at 20% productivity level. Industry data says when you are at 20% productivity level, normally you are looking for a alternative solution, and you are performing at 20% productivity level. It is a complaint situation. You have some grievance, some grief, some anger issue. Now, if that is so, then the more experience you have, the more time it takes to find out a solution. For some senior people, it takes 3 to 5 years to find out an appropriate alternative solution. The entire time they will be operating at 20% productivity level. If so, then what happens to their potential? So, but I try to find out if it is all workplace related. It affects their productivity, okay, but there are not all the problems which are productive workplace related. So if you look at the left hand side of your screen, it is all, of course, workplace related, but towards the right side, these are mindset related. Now, if your mindset is affected by your thought process, right? And your thought process will hamper your productivity. Agree about that? And if so, it affects your area in several life in several ways. Your life decisions will be hampered, work decisions, competition, you will be troubled by competition, communication will be a problem, confidence will be an issue, there will be friction with colleagues, learning a skill will be a problem, embarking on a big vision is will be absent. You'll be not thinking, you are not thinking the immediate solution. How can you think of a big vision? Managing time will be a difficult problem. Consistency obviously will be a problem. So how can you overcome procrastination in the first place? So whenever you are stuck, the immediate thing is to take action in whatever way possible. So it is about strategic thinking, emotional intelligence, visionary leadership, decision making, conflict resolution, inspiring and motivating others, effective communication, adaptability, delegation, mentorship, and coaching. So these are all very, very difficult when you are not taking the first step towards a solution. Now, how do you do that? Before that, list 10 things, big and small, you do uniquely. So whenever you are stuck, there, there is a requirement of self-reflection, introspection. So how do you do that introspection? Just sitting down there and thinking over something, it will make you further stuck. So here I am proposing one exercise where list big and small you do uniquely, whatever way. So I was thinking of about like say how do you mend any of the clothes that you need to. Suppose there is a small uh, tear somewhere in your dress. How do you mend it? Being a lady, I'm asking the ladies, gents can find out some way. How do you manage your dresses every day? Um, how do you save yourself? How do you keep your things arranged? How do you maintain your diary? How do you write? What do you maintain digital notes? How do you speak to your colleagues? How do you speak to your boss? How do you speak to others, your family members? How do you speak to your friends? Anything. 10 things you write. And that should be unique. Now, activity 2 is list 10 things, big and small, that gets done where you work. So, whatever work you have done last day, last week, or last month, just write it down 10 things. 3 is list 10 things, big and small, that gets done. Both of these are where you were, both of these are same thing, anyways. So I'm learning some tricks from 12 mentors. So let me tell you who are these people. So any day and every day, you need to learn something. When in COVID, I thought I needed to learn something because I was sitting at home and a lot of time I had apart from my work. So if you are putting your work proportionately, right, efficiently, then you will have, and you are saving the commuting time. Because at office, you uh, you talk with colleagues, you do a lot of meetings, all that thing. So time was saved. And so I thought of taking a course. Have you thought about such a thing? So why course? Because I wanted to scale up whatever I have learned. I wanted to give it to many people. Whether these people okay or not, these will be the people. So I had a certificate, and this is the mentor from Singapore from whom I learn inner champion, how to become, how to win your inner self, to keep pushing the self. This is the coach of Robert Kiyosaki from whom I have learned how to master your inner voice, little voice, which keeps on stopping you at some point or other. And these are the 12 mentors I work with. And the latest thing that Blair Singer had taught me is about courage. You know, so leaders should have courage. That is what you are saying. So courage, I have courage. So you have to push yourself moving through fear. If you have fear of learning, so push your fear and keep on doing whatever you are fearful of. Key patterns in my life. Pattern 1. I used to be the star performer, but not the boss. So many of you might have this thing. Pattern 2, I used to complain a lot, but I loved my work. Do you have this kind of pattern? Pattern 3, I could handle a variety of tasks in emergency, but I never was trained for this. For example, I did work in agriculture, technology, analysis. I was never trained for those. Still, I did. So, are you same kind of thing? These might be also the uniqueness in you, which you should try to find out so that it will help you to consolidate it further. Then I got one opportunity. If each of us get some kind of opportunity at this point or that point. So I attended a HR workshop meant for HR professionals. So I was not an HR professional. I am a mathematics postgraduate. As I told you, I did many things for which I was not trained. Now, here in this HR workshop, I was supposed to present the HR policy of my organization. So it was a workshop of seniors, and there were participants from big organizations also, and I was from the smallest organization. So early in that age, I thought if I join a small organization, then I'll be a senior person. So that was some kind of fancy stuff that was going on inside my mind. So I joined there, and being a senior, I was supposed to present the HR policy, and there was no HR policy from my organization. So what I did was I designed one HR policy and presented out there. It was highly appreciated, and that is when I won the trust of people. No, trust of people who were the senior most in that. And 1.5 years later, when I applied in that company, I was recommended for that job. So this was an opportunity for me. And that was the first experience of resourcefulness. When you intend to do something better, then you have the resources, each of us. You only need to look around to find those resources. Then the shift in my pattern happened when I came to that big organization. There, I noticed I was not looking to be the boss anymore, because it was such a big organization. I had to be part of a big something going on at that time. It was there were many challenging tasks, and everybody was in charge of something challenging. So it it didn't matter whether I was the boss or not, because I was the boss of whatever segment I was handling. Shift two happened. So I started to know that it was not being the boss that I was looking for, but it is being in charge of the task that I was looking for. So many of us actually uh, confuse ourselves with that. Being boss is will give us the unique position. It is not so. Most of us look for position, challenge, a task for which we are solely responsible. So if we understand that, then we can give ourselves those kind of opportunities ourselves. We will not wait for others to give us that responsibility. So what I achieved next is, in that big organization, I actually trained 18,000 professionals to impact 1 crore life since 2008. And those people, they also went on to help people uh, under in their circle, right? And I found at least two skills in everybody, which could be which was never explored before. So I knew everybody has at least two skills which will be of immense use. So what did I do in Rajasthan? In 2 months time, we had to enumerate 45 lakh women for opening their bank account, and we did that in 2 months time. Alone I couldn't have done. So mm, we sourced volunteers all across India, and 12,000 of them were there. Those were trained. Those people, every day we enumerated 25,000 women, and that was a big task. That was done in time, in 2 months time. 45 lakh women, in 29 districts of Rajasthan. Next, I handled Meghalaya, where there were across 7 districts of Meghalaya. Then, way back in 2008, there were 7 districts, and 239 common services center under the e-governance project of National E-Governance Project of Government of India were to be established. 1,500 people were trained. There were not, that was the initial digital age that time, and there were not much business opportunities. Still, I could make a business plan and strategically put all those CSCs nearby banks or government departments so that they could get some work, you know, college and other things. And these were the 1500 people that I trained. Then in 2010, I did analysis of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. Then in 2011 to 2015, I was given the charge of Bandhavgarh Tiger Fringe areas, fringe villages of Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve, wherein people were dependent on the forest for their livelihood. They had only 3 months of food in them. And so it was a very challenging task, and we, in 4 years of time, we could make that area food sufficient. And this is the forest where I stayed, and we undertook a vast area to uh, institute a farm, herbal cultivation. So first of all, we did SRI, then we did integrated farming, and third, mustard cultivation, and fourth, we did herbal cultivation. So it was a shift step by step. And we mobilized the local ladies into two cluster, Manpur cluster and Tala cluster, and eventually it was federated into a community level federation, and they won 17 awards in 4 years time. You know, illiterate ladies, still they could be trained. This is a lady who was awarded with CII award with 1.5 lakhs cash award. As I told, mustard production record we broke. Then this federation had 36 lakhs in corpus from various sources and from their savings. They became food sufficient. They became leaders. They became part of the district governing board under the collector, and they won one award from the then Chief Minister of Gujarat, Narendra Modi. You know, that couldn't have been planned. You know, that is why I call that it is the thought process and your consistency which will win you some miraculous achievements which cannot be planned. Only you need to keep on investing on small task that is right, small task that is productive all the time. And the lady who won the CIA award, she actually had a concept which was micro capital will save us from vicious cycle of poverty. That is what she told. The then industry minister, Mr. Anand Sharma, felicitated her. Another farmer won MS Swaminathan Research Foundation Award, and another lady won Best SSG Leader Award from the Andhra Pradesh governor. A grassroots worker, Mr. Mukesh, became the CEO of the farmer producer company that was there, and he still continues being the FPO CEO. He is the colleague who he was part of my team. Now he is working in UNDP, and after Bandhavgarh, I became the HR head of that company, wherein I made it a point to train the second rank leaders. So one executive, Moni Mandal, I trained her. Now she is handling the HR process there. She is handling my job of a HR head, you know. After that, I revived the dead watershed project in Jharkhand, Khuti. I won several awards as a result of my contribution at several places. I was sent on a study tour to Canada. And defining moment was deciding to work away from the comfort zone is very rare. So if I was at Bandhavgarh doing phenomenally well, after that I took over as the HR head, where I shifted to the headquarters of my organization. So I was never trained in HR, I told you. So that was beyond my comfort zone. I faced a lot of criticism as well. It didn't matter. I could formulate 40 incentive structure for the grassroots worker. So it takes courage to be out of your comfort zone. That is how you enjoy life. Playing a servant leader is uncommon. Helping people to push ahead and doing for their sake is is never common. Enabling another person to score the goal requires a visionary to be in charge. Allowing the other person to take the credit by doing the last thing. And the goal scoring is the last thing that happens. But if in time you are not passing the ball, the goal will not be scored. So you should be the person who can pass the ball in time to the person who is strategically placed. And that is a defining moment for me. People can be master of their craft, but it takes a big heart to be appreciative of others. These are very small things which we forget to implement at workplace. And these are the things which makes us leaders. So which category of personality are you out of these four? Common context is three resources to manage: self, 80%, of course, because you need to take a decision out of your comfort zone. You have to be visionary, you have to be pushing for others ahead of you. Then managing people. If you manage yourself, then managing people will take only 5% of the effort. Managing time also becomes easier, and it takes your 15% of time if you manage yourself 80% of time. The next is how do you see yourself is the reality check. How do people see you is it is what I call as resilience. And how do you want to be remembered? These are the three things that normally we should keep in mind to do the right action at the right time. People, you can never deceive people. People will remember. Everybody can remember. And three personality traits to conquer is confidence, 30% you should have. Courage, 20%, of course. But clarity, 50%. Should know why you are doing whatever you are doing. Nobody can explain it. You have to have this clarity all by yourself. Four communication aspects to be careful about. Listening, 25%. People say that communication is about English. No, it is about listening, reading, speaking, and writing, all in equal proportion. Then only you can speak well. Leadership style ingredients are: you should have the direction, 5%, delegation, 10%, coaching, 15%, and empowering is 70%. So if you are empowering all the time, that is how you build trust. Achieve leadership growth by strategizing your career ladder. So all these ingredients will help you strategize your career ladder, and you can never be uh, way fallen behind in your thing. So what are the indicators? How can you strategize your career ladder? So make all the time what are the right steps that you can take. Your results should be known all the time. Make sure that whatever you are doing, that results had to be known to other people. Growth trajectory is monitored. Maybe you are pushing backwards, going backward, forth, all that things are happening, but you need to know that your trajectory is monitored. Unless you do so, you will not know if you are going back, and that will require to push forward, right? So you should know that you are going backward. So all the time monitor your growth trajectory and train people to replace you. Now this will help you in monitoring people. And what you do, the six things you need to do is problem analysis, presentation skill, optimum use of time, budget and HR, creating a second line leaders, overcoming ambiguity, subject matter expertise. These are the six things you need to do. So many people, when I ask if they are very first time managers, they think that hard work needs to be done. So hard work is the center of the point, and they are all the time are concerned, and they are full of worries. But what should be the way? You should be building influence with your goal, smart work, and the essential thing is you need to be happy all the time. Now, think about this. If your team building skills are 9 out of 10, somebody asked me, I'm building team all the while, why growth is 5 on 10? I asked him this, and he couldn't reply. If your honesty leads to transparency, why is it uneasy for management? It should be helpful for the management, right? If you are honest, what have you done to unstuck yourself? Suppose you are stuck at some place. What did you do to unstuck yourself? And my system is this blueprint. You know, First thing is you differentiate yourself. Second is you create resilience, trust, dependability that will help you to influence, and you will achieve prominence thereby. And all the time, your attitude, habit, action, and perception matters. All the time, you need to learn, and that is how you grow. And the techniques that you will be learning is resourceful influence, right? And the learning impacts will be how this learning will contribute to holistic improvement, how the organization is helped, how the boss is helped, how the super boss is helped, how your colleagues are helped. Learning impact too will be who would you become. Attitude defines personality. How is your attitude? Habit strengthens credibility. What habits you want to strengthen? Action enhances dependability. What credibility you want to earn? Perception creates reality. Do you agree things can be different than what you think? And all these questions you need to ask. Learning may impact 3 years power resume. Sometimes you will lose job or you are not having job. So what will be your power resume? These 4 things are there in your resume. Is it in one page? Because nowadays people don't read. So if your resume is very clearly outlined and it is crisp, it will be in one page. Do you have 5 strength areas defined? Do you have 5 types of resume ready? Are you developing the right contacts? These are the essential things about power resume. Learning impact 4 is strategic positioning. How to sell your ideas and personality, and how do you position yourself, who you are. How can you describe yourself in one line? So there are 5 steps to it. Subtle assertion you have to make, strong conviction you should have, suitable obsession you need to show, subliminal orientation has to be there, and synergizing conversation. Why I say the other person needs to, your interviewer and the interview panel needs to know that you are a very, very good resource person for them. Learning impact 5 is 7 aspects of leadership growth uh, call. Aspects are there, and there will be free weekly call that I'll be providing every day. One is skill, how to do that, then become highly productive, happily engaged, hustle consistently, hungry for transformation, hopeful of better time, honest about efforts, hungry for transformation. So these hopeful of better time, hopeful for better time. So this has come twice. Honest about efforts. So this also has come twice. So 7 things you need to, uh, that is what we will be learning here. Now, learning impact 6, developing characteristic of a resourceful mindset. What do you learn every week? And tradition of Gurukul that will be setting up here. And my vision is 1 lakh super performing global players for a sustainable globe. That is my vision. Working with core values. So these peace, green, and abundance initiative with 6 values I call as tranquility, inclusion, dignity, abundance, learning, and joy. We'll be finding out your value determination process. Accordingly, you can function. You know. Focus on ultimate objective. Was I influencing with resourcefulness? You need to ask, what is resourcefulness now? What are the resources? What process? Who you need to become? What are the choices? And it always those 4 things. It uniquely differentiates you. It will you command admiration. You establish your credibility and stand out. Look at 3x growth. This is the influence path. And influencing, overcoming challenges consistently. It is not just one time. Consistently over and over again, you need to do this. And resourceful influencing means it wins recognition and growth. That is what you are looking at, right? It creates resilience, it overcomes struggles and challenges, it unravels relevance, and it propels towards reaching beyond without feeling burned out. That is why resourceful influence. It is a chain reaction. Growth questions, what is the principles you have? So here we will be testing your personality with 7 kind of test, four kind of test, and mm, and we can find out what kind of strengths you have. Leadership growth program is about, I have about 10 aspects I deal with. One of them we are dealing with here about next level growth, efficiency, production, how to overcome procrastination and all. So these are the 10 areas where I call them as potency, pattern, partnership, progress, process, poignancy, puzzle, perception, performance, and passion. And the 5 bonuses will be about internal patterns, how to build a big vision and all. There will be some results. Mindfulness, of course, when you are overcoming your procrastination, this will be required. And process continuous upgrade will be required. And mentoring is one process, how to do it. And entrepreneurship is your legacy aspect. How can you be the resource person for all time to come? That will be career agnostics. And we will be doing with some frameworks. It will depend on, there are some common things are there, but based on individual perception, how you can do that. We will be doing that exercise as well. We'll develop a performance tracker so that we'll monitor your growth. And meaningfulness of this career audit you need to do all the time. Meaningfulness of existing career, showing your relevance, becoming your way. Are you thinking long term? What difference do you make to your organization? How do you measure quality of your task? Are you solving a problem? How can you minimize regrets as a 80-year-old? Do you think you are a better person than a year back? And growth score. You need to give yourself. This is the performance tracker you can build, value score you can give yourself, and you can track yourself all the time. So behave like the ultimate leader. The other day, somebody was asking me whether he can be a CEO. Nothing tells him how to become a CEO. Now behave like a CEO now. So what does it? Do you know what a CEO does? So observe that and try to behave like. I told him that become an attraction expert. Bottom line reality is, what is the core behind your efforts? What is that thing which drives you? Right? Have you established your principal value system? What kind of system do you operate in? What control system? What strategies do you have in place? What are the tactics do you employ to get your work done, delegate, prioritize, turning deeper? What are the action points you engage on daily basis? Do you track results of each action? And who is the leader? Connects the group with the outside world, inspires and motivates others, exhibits technical and professional expertise, practices self-development, establishes stretch goals, collaborates and fosters teamwork, solves problems and analyzes issues, communicates powerfully and broadly, champions change, innovates, builds relationships, displays honesty and integrity, focuses on results, develops others, takes initiative. Do you do all this? These are the leadership CEO qualities. Do you do? So how do you start yourself? How do you design your day in doing all this? Focus on morning hours for yourself. When you wake up, for 1 hour, I don't feel like speaking. Do you feel like that? So it is all about powering yourself up. You know, And KPI is keep people interested, keep people informed, keep people involved, and keep people inspired. You are not a leader until you have produced another leader who can produce another leader. That is what is said about a leadership. What matters to you? Is it more than 3 things in a day? Do you take tea breaks regularly? Do you have skill to make your work interesting? Do you use emails effectively? Have you figured out which are those? Which are the principles? Which are those which creates 80% of your results? Tackle a challenging task before lunch. So that is what you need to do as a principle. This is a hack. We will create a success matrix as to how you can project the reports, your reports, top line and bottom line. These are the strategic areas you need to deal consistently. Subject matter expertise. What you are building your strategy, your expertise on. Being relevant, depth, and diversity. Your whatever is your concern, your interest, and your usefulness. Ignorance. The bottom line, whatever people know, at the grassroots level, at the top level, they don't know. Are you building the gap? Are you building the bridge? Leadership significance is your competence, your passion, and the need. The intersection of that is significance. Are you in that position? Connecting the dots, data, information, knowledge, insight, and wisdom. That is how you create impact. Are you presenting your reports in these formats? Bringing a change, navigating ambiguity. Ambiguity is the biggest spoiler at workplace. A little ambiguity here and there. Somebody says something, your boss says something, your super boss says something, your colleagues have other opinion. Lot of ambiguity is created, and you need to uh, streamline all this. Choice of alternatives. What alternative? People will come with various background. Some with bad idea, failure, wrong, success, problem, mistake, crisis. All these things, all this background will be there in the minds of your colleagues. So everything everything is an alternative solution, alternative alternative plan. You can plan according to your risk, failure, bad idea. What mistakes are you doing? Anything wrong is there. Suppose something wrong happens. Your journey, who you become in this entire process, who you become is the most important thing. It is not that results Result that is important, it is who you become in the process of achieving the result is the only thing, only bottom line that needs to be achieved so that you can solve the problem. That is what Jack Canfield, the person in the secret, sees. What problems happening now? List those down. Very important. Why do you think those are happening? This should be an ongoing analysis. How is your work-life health? Focus on your productivity. Why should you not want a short-term solution? Many people say how to fix this problem right now. Figure out a reason. Why? If even if you solve this problem right now, it will still bring another problem. Do you agree with me on that? What can be a long-term solution? So if it is a long-term solution, you need patience, right? You need discipline, right? What all you have tried so far? So small solutions you must have tried some. What are the failures? What are the successes? And daily dilemmas in life. The communication issue, as I said, it has to be 25% each. Write, read, speak, listen. It has to be a discipline. And many ask, what subject? It is your subject. Yeah. Of course, it is your subject. Whatever subject you like, whatever subject you want to discuss on, that is the subject. Many people have time management problem. Like what? They go on like say every minute, every hour, deciding something. So many things they won't even remember. So if you are focusing on more than 3 things in a day, it will not happen. You cannot do everything. So what should be the solution? Why can't you segment your day? Morning time, office time, personal time, family time. This is all that you need to do. In that time, whatever you need to do, you do. How do I know what will be your family time? You should be going on with playing with your child or talking to your spouse. It is up to you. Take 5 small actions every day if you procrastinate often. What do you need to achieve? So if it is writing 5 pages and you can't do, then write 5 lines. If 5 lines is very difficult, write 5 words. So what do you need to achieve? Depends on that, no? How much you have to write. 1 page a resume. How to formulate the entire experience in 1 page. This can be one thing. Put 3 things in priority if you are overwhelmed with every day's work. More than 3 tasks, you cannot focus. Or if you want to do more than 3, then it will be more than 8 hours. So that will not be quality work. Only 3 things you can focus in a day. And if you have to focus on the several things, you need to know which segment. 3 segment of work you can juggle with. Be crisp and specific when you are asking for support. How to decide where you need support without appearing stupid. Read, write, listen, and speak more if faced with a communication challenge. How to integrate the subject and what to be communicated. Presentation skill, how to integrate the subject and what to be communicated. So we have many practice ebooks, online practice sessions um, that deals with all these problems. How to uh, how to do each of that. This is a dream tracker that we have. So it doesn't happen so streamlined, but if you plan this, you know by which time what you need to achieve. It will not happen exactly at that date, but it will happen. Initially, it will be delayed, but afterwards it will happen at a very rapid rate. Sometimes it will. I have asked myself to. I have given myself March 28th as the date when I'll be going to achieve, say, 139 countries and all that. Much before it, I'll be achieving it. How does it matter? if you are achieving all the time. Maybe all those things may not be achieved with my present version. So I have to learn progressively, gradually, so that I can achieve all those. How can you do that? That there is a process, practice for that. You know, how to enhance your credibility, how to achieve excellence, how to have consistency, how to do journaling, how to grow beyond, how to have deep learning, how to have sensibility, wellness, upgraph. So starting today, 3 hero stories in the B zone, flat out fantastic, crucial crisis, intrigue, attuned, active listening skills, self-assessment, strategic mentoring, spontaneity, kill lethargy, pull your own strings, taking responsibility, attitude shift, body capacity, maximize health. All these will be part of our lessons. Now, so that is, so all these are priced at 2 lakhs, but for today it will be available at a very short price, provided you have some questions. So what all questions do you have? If you have a question, you can put in YouTube because you are watching there, and I'll be answering that. So thank you very much for this, and see you